Hello everyone, my name is Steve Killingsworth. I'm an investor here in Michigan, and today we're going to talk about self-storage rate strategy, and specifically how to measure the demand for a particular market or industry-wide. I found a really valuable resource over the weekend, and they gather all kinds of information from self-storage facilities, 561 facilities to be exact. It's the same facilities and they gather rate, occupancy, all kinds of information needed to measure the health of a particular market as it relates to self-storage. So there are two keys to understanding the self-storage demand for a particular market. And we're gonna go through those today. In order to have an effective rate strategy, you need to understand the demand for a market. And understanding the demand will also help you avoid getting into deals that aren't really that good. So the first secret demand measurement you need to be aware of is the ratio of move-ins to move-outs. It's important to know that the peak leasing in self-storage occurs in the second quarter. April, May, June, that's when most people move into self-storage. Third quarter experiences the most move-outs during the year. So how do you measure this move-in to move-out? What do? It's real simple. Take the move-ins divided by total rental activity, which is move-ins divided by total move-ins plus move-outs. Then you subtract the people that moved out divided by total move-ins to give you your net absorption ratio. Now this ratio peaked at mid-2021. Since that time, it has significantly decreased, which indicates a weakening demand, and the net absorption ratio got down to 1%. Now, you may be thinking from 4 to 1%, not a big deal, but that's on a percent change basis, that's 33%. That's a pretty big move. Again though, Q3 is when most people move out. As noted down here, Q2 to Q3, move-ins decreased 3%, move-outs increased 18%. Is that seasonality? Is that inflation causing people to second guess their self-storage needs, not being able to afford the higher rents? It was a little surprising to see the weakening demand. Everyone knows self-storage right now, high rents, high demand, high occupancy. So it was a little surprising to see weakening demand. The second secret to measure demand for self-storage is, we're gonna get kind of geeky here. This is take it back to Econ 101. It's called the elasticity of demand. As prices go up, how does the demand for self-storage change? As rents increase, as gas, food, inflation is here and it's running hot, how is that going to impact the demand for self-storage? The elasticity of that demand. And one way to measure that is comparing the average rent versus the average occupancy. If occupancy goes up along with the rent increases, then you know that what the elasticity of demand is showing, that people are still willing to pay increased rents for self-storage despite higher rent. Important to note that mid-quarter 2021 is when the average rent, average occupancies really took off, especially the occupancy piece. The average physical occupancy for the remaining year from second quarter or from Q1 2021 through the end of 2021, occupancies were between 95 and 98%, while rates this is all for a 10 by 10 non-climate, by the way, just under $115. So as the occupancies rose throughout the year, the rents didn't really catch up to them towards the end of the year. Rents kind of stayed flat there during the second, third, and fourth quarter, which is something we've noted and I've discussed in other videos, that it appears that peak rate was in June 2021. It kind of stayed flat for the rest of the year. All this information was from an industry-wide publication I read. They had this by market on a national basis too. So very specific. They have it by the top 50 MSA. They have it by region. Very well done. Got to understand the demand, and you need that to implement your rate strategy. That's all I have for you today. Thank you for joining me, and go blue.